Hey guys, first of all, I want to thank you guys. My move, everything unexpected has happened. I found out since my washer and dryer had set up for so long it was rusted, so I had to go buy a new one. And then cutting on Wi-Fi has been a nightmare. It could take anywhere from 7 to 10 days. So luckily my brother was nice enough to come and get that up and running for me. So I do appreciate your patience during this move. I'm sure most of you have moved and it's a nightmare. But anyway, let's get to the seminar. Guys, this is one of my favorite topics. I love change, I love planning, and I love resistance to change. Okay, so let's start out with the smart thinking. And you guys have seen that on your LP2 planning assignment. And there's also a link there and instructions on how to use the tool. I do want to stress, do not wait to the last minute because the turnaround time is about 24 hours. And this is totally different from Turnitin. And I am glad we had the Turnitin issue straight. Okay, let's move on. So strategic planning, why is it important? Well, it's often described as a blueprint, like you have a blueprint for the house, a planning stage, how to build it. It works the same for a business. It requires vision, mission, and thinking outside the box. So basically, you're looking ahead and mapping out the future course of the business. I included this. I don't know if you guys have seen this in your chapters, SWOT analysis. I've done a lot of work with SWOT analysis in my dissertation. It stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. And it's also a great tool to serve as a building block of strategic planning. So you guys can do a little bit more research on that topic. Okay, so in the planning stages, you want to establish objectives. It requires a systematic approach. It starts with the setting of goals and objectives to be achieved. It provides rationale for undertaking various activities as well as indicates direction of efforts. It also focuses the attention of managers on the end results to be achieved, and that's very important because there again, there's your vision and your future. Objectives should be stated in quantitative terms, and it gives an example here. The number of men working, wages given, units produced, etc. Such an objective cannot be stated in quantitative terms like performance of quality control managers and effectiveness of personnel managers. So, and such goals should be specified in qualitative terms as well. So objectives should be practical, acceptable, workable, and achievable. So establishment of a planning premises. They are the assumptions about the lively shape of events in the future. They serve as the basis of planning. The establishment of planning premises is concerned with determining where one tends to deviate from the actual plans and causes of such deviations. It's important to find out what obstacles are in the way of the business during the course of operations. Establishment of planning premises is concerned to take such steps that avoid these obstacles to a great extent. Planning premises may be internal or external. Internal includes capital investment policies, management, labor relations, philosophy of management, etc., whereas external includes socio-economic, political, and economical changes. Internal premises are controllable, whereas external are non-controllable. So choice of alternative courses of action. When forecasts are available and premises are established, a number of alternative course of actions have to be considered. For this purpose, each and every alternative will be evaluated by weighing the pros and cons in light of the resources available and the requirements of the organization. The merits, demerits, as well as the consequences of each alternative must be examined before the choice is being made. After objective and scientific evaluation, the best alternative is chosen. The planner should take help of various quantitative techniques to judge the stability of the alternative. So here's the formulation of derivative plans. They are subplans or secondary plans which help in the achievement of the main plan. Secondary plans will follow from the basic plans. These are meant to support and expedite the achievement of the basic plans. These detailed plans include policies, procedures, rules, programs, budgets, schedule. For example, if a profit maximization is the main aim of the enterprise, derivative plans will include sales maximization, production maximization, and cost minimization. So derivative plans indicate time schedule and sense of accomplishing various tasks. Securing cooperation. After the plans have been determined, it is necessary, rather advisable, to take subordinates or those who have to implement these plans into confidence. The purpose behind taking them into confidence are: the subordinates may feel motivated since they're involved in the decision-making process, and this is very, very important, guys, because it goes back to communication. The organization may be able to get valuable suggestions and improvement in the formalization as well as implementation of plans. And let me reiterate on this. My philosophy has always been, when I'm looking to improve a function of my office, I want to talk to the people who do the job every day. I don't sit up on the front counter and take payments. So their input or insight is very, very valuable to me as a leader. Also, the employees will be more interested in the execution of these plans, and when they're more interested, you have less resistance. Okay, so follow up and appraisal of plans. After choosing a particular course of action, it is put into action. After the selected plan is implemented, it's important to appraise its effectiveness. This is done on the basis of feedback or information received from departments or persons concerned. This enables the management to correct deviations or modify the plan. This step establishes a link between planning and controlling function. The follow-up must go side by side the implementation of plans so that in light of the observations made, future plans can be made more realistic. Now, I've included here where I retrieve this info. And what I try to do, guys, is these are articles and things that I have created bookmarks for and I have actually read. So it kind of gives you a little bit of different insight from what's in the textbook. Some of it's the same, but I don't want to just give you definitions and plans from the textbook. You can see that. Okay, so why do people resist change? And a lot of you have touched on this in your discussions. Fear of the unknown. It occurs when the change is implemented without warning, especially when it's perceived as negative. It's pushed onto people without giving them adequate warning and without helping them through the process of understanding. That's pretty much self-explanatory. Mistrust. If the individuals in a department highly respect their manager because their manager has built trust over a period of time, the team will be more accepting of change. Loss of security and job control. This type of resistance often occurs when companies announce they'll be restructuring or downsizing. This causes fear among employees that they'll lose their jobs or be moved into other positions without their input. Why do people resist change again? Bad timing. As the old saying goes, timing is everything. Heaping too much change on an employee over a short period of time can cause resistance. If change is not implemented at the right time or the right level of tact or empathy, it usually doesn't work. And then the individual's, attitude toward a change. Differences exist in people's overall tolerance for change. Some people enjoy change because it provides them with an opportunity to learn new things and grow personally and professionally. Others are scared of it. Just flat out scared of it. And I commented on one of the students' discussion because, everybody does not resist change. Some people like it. I'm one of those people who actually like change, especially when it comes in technology, because it usually benefits the employees as well as the business. And you can see that this is an article. I actually have Forbes, and I had to find this article online. So it's a really good article. And like I've told you guys before, use the library, make sure things are peer reviewed when you're doing your, assignments and things like that. But it doesn't hurt to Google and find good magazines like Forbes, Harvard Business Review. They have awesome articles. Okay, and now this is a Kotter's 8-step change model. Guys, I had Kotter all over my literature review in my dissertation. So this is a good name to remember. Anyway, let's move on. Create urgency is step 1. You identify potential threats and develop scenarios showing what could happen in the future. You examine those opportunities that should or could be exploited. Start honest discussions, give dynamic and convincing reasons to get people talking and thinking, and then you request support from customers, outside stakeholders, and industry people to strengthen your argument. Step 2 is to form a powerful coalition. Identify the true leaders in your organization as well as your key stakeholders. Ask for an emotional commitment from these key people. Work on team building constantly within your change coalition. Check your team for weak areas and ensure that you have a good mix of people from different departments and different levels within your company. Then you want to create a vision for change. Determine the values that are vital to the change. You're going to develop a short summary, just 1 or 2 sentences, that captures what you see as the future of your organization. You create a strategy to execute that vision and ensure that your change coalition can describe the vision in 5 minutes or less. And then practice your vision speech often. Step 4 is communicate the vision. Talk often about your change vision. Address people's concerns and anxieties openly and honestly. Apply your vision to all aspects of operations, from training to performance reviews. Tie everything back to the vision, and guys, you've got to lead by example. Remove obstacles. Identify, hire, change leaders whose main role are to deliver change. Look at your organizational structure, job descriptions, and performance and compensation systems to ensure they're in line with your vision. You also recognize and reward people for making change happen. And you identify the people who are resisting the change and help them see what's needed. And guys, sometimes that doesn't always work. In my job, I invest the county's funds for all the different entities, and it's about $697 million. Well, when I became deputy treasurer at age 29, this lady in our accounting department, she had been there forever. She'd done things the same way all the time, and they had never really done any investments outside of CDs. So when we went to do money markets, I'm not kidding, she literally had a hissy fit like you would see a child do down the hall. Well, needless to say, we did the money markets, and we did not fire her, but she quickly retired. And that was a good thing for us, because the most expensive concept or statement that can be made in a business is we've always done it that way. So, and then you want to take action to quickly remove the barriers. And employees sometimes are your barriers. Step 6, we want to create short-term wins. Look for surefire projects that you can implement without help from any strong critics of the change. Don't choose early targets that are expensive. You want to be able to justify the investment in each project. Thoroughly analyze potential pros and cons of your targets. If you don't succeed with an early goal, it can hurt your entire change initiative. And then you reward the people who meet the goals or targets. You build on change. After every win, analyze what went right and what needs improving. Learn about continuous improvement. That's very important. Keep ideas fresh by bringing in new change agents and leaders for your change coalition. And you also want to set goals to continue building on the achievements. Then you anchor the changes in corporate culture. Talk about progress every chance you get. Tell success stories about the change process and repeat other stories that you hear. You also want to include the change ideals and values when hiring and training new staff. Publicly recognize key members of your original change coalition and make sure the rest of the staff, new and old, remembers their contributions. Create plans to replace key leaders of change as they move on. This will help ensure that their legacy is not lost or forgotten. And again, I'll give you guys the link where this was retrieved from. It was Mind Tools, but it's actually a Cotter article. And he's all over my dissertation. Okay, in conclusion, I want to reiterate, make sure you use SMART thinking. Read all assigned chapters in your textbook. And please, guys, if you experience any difficulty using the library, please ask the librarian. They want to help you, and there's a little link in the library that you can do that. Okay, the seminar assessment. I got a lot of questions about this. Sometimes we may create quizzes, but what I expect on this one, I don't want you to use the same work on resistance or, change models or planning functions or anything like that that you've used in any other assignments. This is basically an assessment of what you have gathered from this seminar. I really kind of want it in your own words so I know that you understand it and you're grasping all the key concepts. Okay, and outlines. The purpose of an outline, how we talked about the blueprint of the business, the planning stages. It's the blueprint of your writing. A successful outline, when you go to it, I will be able to look and see exactly what I can expect to see in each chapter. So it's kind of like the blueprint building block of your entire paper. So they're very important. So make sure that you attend Dr. Salitas's seminar on that. And once again, guys, keep up the great work. If you have any questions, please let me know. You also have my cell phone. Give me a call, and I will be taking off today and tomorrow to get grading completed and done. And I want to thank you again for your patience, guys.